Let me ask you something. And take a deep breath as you hear this. What if the key to happiness after 70 isn't about adding more to your life, but letting go? Not letting go in defeat, but letting go in wisdom. Letting go because you've lived enough to finally know what no longer serves you. You see, after 7 decades of living, of loving, losing, building, surviving, you've earned something precious, the right to live lighter. But strangely, not everyone feels lighter as they age. Many still carry what they no longer need. And that weight? It doesn't just sit on your shoulders. It seeps into your spirit. It crowds your peace. So today isn't about chasing the next best thing. It's not about adding more goals, more tasks, more achievements. It's about clearing the path, about removing the noise, about remembering what it actually means to live. You've been through enough to know. Happiness now isn't found in what you gain. It's found in what you release. And maybe no one told you that before. Maybe the world kept shouting, more, do more, have more, be more. But there comes a time when the greatest wisdom sounds like a whisper. Let it go. Let go of old expectations. Let go of roles you've outgrown. Let go of trying to please everyone. Of proving yourself. Of carrying regrets like souvenirs from a life already lived. Let me be clear. This isn't a soft escape. This is power. This is claiming back your energy from the things that no longer deserve it. Because the truth is, you are not behind. You are not too old. You are not done. You are exactly where life has prepared you to be. And everything from here forward is yours to shape, with more clarity, more heart, and far less pressure. But to get there, you need to ask yourself the hard question. What am I still holding on to, that's quietly holding me back? Is it a version of yourself that no longer fits who you've become? Is it an old fear? A lingering, what if? Or maybe it's the belief that happiness is something you still have to earn. When in truth, it's something you've already built the foundation for, through years of showing up, enduring, and learning. And here's the beautiful part. When you let go of what you don't need, you make space. Space to feel peace in your own breath. Space to notice the small joys that were there all along. Space for new conversations, new laughter, new mornings that don't feel like obligations, but invitations. You start waking up not asking, what's next, but whispering, thank you. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this body, slower, perhaps, but still here. Thank you for this heart that still feels. This mind that still wonders. This soul that still reaches. So no, this video isn't about motivation in the traditional sense. It's about reflection. It's about remembering that your worth doesn't come from what you do, but from who you are. And who you are is someone who's made it through decades of change. You've witnessed life's storms and beauty alike. You've collected stories that no one else can tell, not just with words, but with the way you listen, the way you walk, the way you know things now without needing to explain why. You don't need a to-do list to feel useful. You don't need a trophy to feel seen. You just need to stop, for a moment, and ask, what would it feel like to finally live lighter? Not because life got easier, but because you stopped carrying what wasn't yours anymore. That is the beginning of joy after 70. Not the chasing, not the proving, but the letting go. So if today feels heavy, maybe it's not age, maybe it's just time to release the roles, the regrets, the responsibilities that have outlived their purpose. Because the truth is simple. You don't need more to be whole. You just need less of what weighs you down. And as we begin this journey together, I invite you, gently, lovingly, to consider one thing. What if the rest of your life could be the most peaceful chapter yet? Simply because you stopped trying to hold it all? Welcome back to yourself. Let's begin. Let's take a moment to breathe, to pause, to be honest with ourselves about the things we've been carrying for far too long. Not physical weight, but emotional, mental, spiritual weight, the kind that doesn't show up in mirrors, but reveals itself in your sighs, your tension, your fatigue. There comes a point in life, especially after 60, 70, or 80, where joy stops being about what you gain and starts being about what you're willing to release. So today, I want to walk with you through 5 things we often need to let go of. To live lighter, to live freer, to feel peace that isn't fleeting, but rooted. 1. Let go of regret. Regret doesn't live in your joints or your bones. It lives in your memory. And over time, it turns the past into a cage, a loop, a voice that whispers, "You should have known better." But here's the truth. We only know better after we've lived through it. Regret is not a sign you're broken. It's a sign you're human. It means you care. It means you've grown. The danger is when you let it write the story of your future. You don't need to forget the past. But you do need to stop living in it. What if, instead of, "I should have," you said, "Now I know"? Because when you reframe regret as reflection, you don't lose the lesson. You just lose the shame. And that is freedom. 2. Let go of the need to be right. As we age, we start to realize peace and correctness are rarely the same thing. In youth, we fight to prove a point. In maturity, we learn to protect the peace. You don't have to attend every argument you're invited to. You don't have to correct every detail, even when you know better. Because connection matters more than control. Every time you choose silence over self-righteousness, you preserve your energy. You keep your nervous system calm. You remind yourself, "I don't need to win this. I just need to be well." Wisdom knows the difference between a battle and a trap. And after 70, you've earned the right to walk away from both. 3. Let go of clutter, both physical and mental. Clutter isn't just stuff in drawers. It's also the noise in your head. That corner filled with, just in case, items. That thought you've been looping for years. That drawer full of, maybe someday, They weigh on you. They drain you. And the older we get, the more sacred our energy becomes. Clear your space, and your mind will follow. Let go of the things you no longer use, and the stories you no longer need to believe. Simplifying isn't about minimalism, it's about reclaiming peace. The kind of peace where you walk into a room and feel your shoulders drop. Where you sit down, and your mind doesn't race. Where your space and your spirit are finally in sync. 4. Let go of comparison. Even in our later years, comparison sneaks in. You see a friend traveling, a neighbor with more visitors, someone your age doing something you can't. And suddenly, you wonder, am I doing enough? But here's the truth, after 70, there is no enough to measure. There's only presence, only alignment, only peace. You are not late, you are not behind, you are not missing out. You are exactly where you need to be. Instead of asking, "Am I as good as them?" try asking, "What makes me feel whole today?" Maybe it's tending your garden, laughing with someone, finishing a book, or simply being with yourself. In quiet gratitude. That is success. That is joy. That is yours. Let go of the noise. Return to your own rhythm. And remember, the best measure of a life is not what others see, but what you feel. Because at this stage in life, you don't need applause. You need alignment. And the less you carry, the lighter you live. So ask yourself gently, as we move forward, what is one thing I'm ready to put down today, to finally feel free? Let this be the day you begin again, not by doing more, but by needing less. You deserve a life that feels like peace, not pressure, like presence, not performance. And it begins with letting go. Let's talk about something that rarely gets said out loud. Growing older is not fading. It's awakening. It's not a slow disappearance. It's the gradual uncovering of who you've always been beneath the noise. The roles, the expectations. You are not invisible. You're just finally becoming so real, so true to yourself, that the world no longer knows how to label you. Because here's the truth. After decades of living, loving, failing, and starting again, you are not empty. You are full, overflowing, even, with stories, with scars, with strength no one can see but everyone can feel. And that wisdom? It's not meant to sit quietly in the background. It's meant to be shared. Not as advice shouted from a mountaintop, but as warmth, as a calm presence in a chaotic world, as a hand on the shoulder, a story at the right time, a smile that says, "I've been there too." You've earned this depth, the quiet lessons from the things you lost, the resilience from the things you survived, the perspective from the things that didn't go your way, but taught you more than success ever could. But maybe no one told you this. You are still needed, not despite your age, but because of it. The younger ones aren't looking for perfection. They're looking for someone who's real. Someone who doesn't speak in filtered lines, but speaks from a place of truth. So don't let your light rust in silence. Don't wait for a grand stage. The world doesn't need another viral moment. It needs your lived moments. Tell the story, share the recipe, teach the skill, pass down the grace, not because you want recognition, but because that is how legacy works. Legacy isn't something you leave behind when you're gone. It's what you give away while you're still here. And you still have time to heal, to teach, to try, to create, to start something new, to fall in love with your life, again, or for the first time. So let me ask you gently, what are you still hiding, that the world needs to hear? And who told you that your time has passed? Because they were wrong. There is no expiration date on purpose. There is no age limit on aliveness. Your presence, calm, quiet, steady, is a kind of power that this world, in its rush and noise, desperately needs. But you must protect it. Protect it from people who dim your joy. From relationships that make you feel small. From the idea that your worth is behind you. It's not. It's right here, now, waiting for you to believe in it again. So no, don't shrink. Don't apologize for slowing down. Don't edit yourself for comfort. You are not here to fit into someone else's version of small. You are here to expand, in wisdom, in peace, in presence. Let the world see you. Let the next chapter not be about what's left, but about what's real, because you are not fading. You are focusing, and in that clarity, in that brave return to your own rhythm, there is still so much to give. Still so much to feel. Still so much to become. So if no one has reminded you lately, you are not done. You are not invisible, and it is not too late. Not to live, not to love, not to heal, not to shine. Your story still matters, and someone, somewhere, still needs to hear it. Let it begin, again, right now, with you. If this video touched your heart, if it helped you feel a little lighter, more understood, or simply reminded you to take a deeper breath, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And make sure to turn on the notification bell, so you never miss the next message, created just for you. Right when you need it most. Thank you for being here. There's so much goodness ahead, and I'd be honored to walk that journey with you.